Hey, before we start, one quick thing. If this topic matters to you, hit like and subscribe so you don't lose this channel. This is about understanding what's actually happening inside your body and your mind. All right, let's get into it. One day, you're totally fine. Calm, focused, you've got energy, your thoughts are clear. It feels like you're running at full capacity. And then the next day, everything around you is exactly the same, but inside, it's like someone flipped a switch off. Irritation, emptiness, fatigue, that feeling like you're just not in your place. And most people explain it away pretty easily. Bad mood, the weather, stress, I'm just tired. And that's the biggest mistake. Because your state doesn't swing like that for no reason. In reality, your life is being run every single day by 4 biochemical systems. And either they work together or they constantly clash with each other. Most people break these systems themselves, not with bad habits, but with completely normal things. How they start their morning, how they eat, how they rest, how they try to relax. In this video, I'm not going to talk in vague terms about happiness hormones. I'll show you the actual mechanism that either keeps you grounded and stable or keeps knocking you out of balance. And if you watch until the end, you won't just hear what's good for you. You'll see the exact moments in your day where everything breaks, and what to change so your state finally stops bouncing all over the place. And we'll start with the most deceptive system of all, the one almost everyone is wrecking right now. Dopamine is usually called the pleasure hormone, and that's the main misunderstanding. Dopamine isn't about joy, it's about direction. It doesn't activate when you feel good, it activates when you see progress, when effort leads to results, when you feel, I'm moving forward. And this is where the modern world played a dirty trick on us. Short videos, notifications, likes, all of it creates the illusion of movement without effort. Your brain gets a tiny dopamine hit, but there's no real action behind it. Real work starts to feel heavy and boring because it requires time, patience, and tension. If you've noticed that it's hard to start important things, that your hand keeps reaching for your phone, that interest disappears without quick results. That's not laziness, and it's not procrastination. That's a destabilized dopamine system. And this is where people make the second mistake. They try to ban everything, detoxes, hard restrictions. But the problem isn't restrictions. The problem is sequence. How you start your day matters way more than it seems. Morning light isn't about aesthetics. It's a signal to your circadian rhythm that the day has started. Protein in the morning isn't about dieting. It's about amino acids, tyrosine and phenylalanine, which your brain literally needs to produce dopamine. And what do most of us do? Phone first thing after waking up, coffee on an empty stomach. Coffee itself isn't the enemy, but if you drink it immediately, it spikes cortisol and messes with your rhythms. Give your body 60 to 90 minutes, and coffee becomes a tool, not a crutch. And one more key point. 1 completed task per day, not 10. Not a massive to-do list. 1 workout, 1 focused work block. 1 step with a visible result. This isn't motivation, this is dopamine hygiene. But if dopamine were all that mattered, we'd all be happy already. The problem is, dopamine is movement, and without the next system, life turns into an endless race. Serotonin isn't euphoria, it's stability, that feeling of I have enough, that you don't need to constantly chase stimulation. And there's one important detail almost no one talks about. Serotonin is made from tryptophan, and tryptophan has to compete with other amino acids to get into the brain. If you eat only protein all day and completely cut carbs, serotonin just doesn't rise in the second half of the day. A small amount of slow carbs in the evening isn't weakness. It's physiology. It helps tryptophan reach the brain. Add daylight exposure, a walk, and slow breathing. And in the evening, your body naturally starts producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. And then you don't need to numb anxiety with sugar or alcohol. You don't actually want dessert or wine. You want calm. But even when dopamine and serotonin are working, many people still feel empty, and the reason isn't routine, and it's not nutrition. Oxytocin is the feeling of safety. When there are people around you that you trust, the hypothalamus stops keeping your body on constant alert. The fear center quiets down and your nervous system returns to baseline. Oxytocin is only produced through real contact, touch, hugs, shared actions. You can't replace that with a screen. You can get dopamine from your phone, but not oxytocin. And without it, life turns into constant low-level anxiety. Sometimes the simplest step toward therapy is a 15 to 20 second hug with someone close. That's not a metaphor. That's neurophysiology. And there's one last system. Without it, nothing fully comes together. Endorphins and endocannabinoids are released through rhythmic movement. Walking, running, swimming, rowing. When movement lasts 30 to 40 minutes at a steady pace, the brain gets a signal. There's no danger. Everything is stable. Add strength training with gradual load, and the body stops seeing effort as stress. The body likes challenges, it hates revolutions. I know firsthand how easy it is to get stuck in short videos. 5 minutes turn into 30, and your brain never sends the enough signal. That's not weakness. Those are attention hooks. If you've experienced this too, write about it in the comments. Let people see they're not alone. And now it's important to pause and lock in one thing. This entire video wasn't about happiness as an emotion. It was about a system that either works together or constantly fights itself. Dopamine gives direction and momentum. Serotonin gives stability and I have enough. Oxytocin gives safety and connection. Endorphins give balance and physical calm. Most people don't have something wrong with them. Their systems just turn on out of sync. You can motivate yourself with dopamine, but without serotonin, you don't know how to stop. You can be productive, but without oxytocin, it still feels empty. You can think you're resting, but without movement, endorphins never turn on. That's how you get that feeling where everything looks fine, but inside there's no balance. That's why we don't need a perfect daily routine. We need to remove the conflicts between systems. Morning, it's about signaling the body that the day has started. Light, water, movement, protein, phone aside. Daytime isn't about peak productivity. It's about keeping the nervous system out of constant stress. Evening, it's about restoring safety, real connection, a balanced dinner, quiet, sleep. It's alignment. Now it's your turn. Just answer honestly in the comments. Which system feels the most out of balance right now? And if, while watching, you thought of someone close, send them this video. And if this helped you see things more clearly, hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.